Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Today, PUBG has posted and shared a big video on their 2023 Dev Roadmap. There's a big long YouTube presentation that's in Korean with dubbing and subtitles. There's also a blog post which is very long. I'll put the links to both of those things in the description if you want to check them out yourselves in full. There's not really much in the way of interesting gameplay in the video, but it does go into a little bit more detail. But what I'm going to do today is just run through all of the key points from that so you can just take it on board without having to maybe spend an hour and a half of your Saturday morning doing so. So in normal matches, they are planning to increase the item spawn rate, vehicle spawn rate, and to rebalance the blue zone to make gameplay a little bit faster. They say they want to make it quicker to get into action. They think there's not enough loot. I would argue I think there's plenty of loot on all the maps, to be honest. I never struggled to get looted, but not a huge concern. Certainly blue zone rebalance I think is a great thing. A lot of the gameplay, particularly on stuff like Destin, I find very slow on squads. The blue zones need to be quicker. The first zone needs to be smaller. So definitely looking forward to some positive changes there around the blue zone. There's also going to be a new revive system. It's going to be different to comeback BR. It's going to be one that relies on your teammates to get you back. Presumably you go to some sort of station or whatever in a kind of Apexy like way, or you're going to have to go to a location. Your teammates will bring you back in some manner. That's going to be added to all of the 8x8 maps initially that don't already have comeback BR. So it sounds like we're going to have comeback BR on some maps, new revive system on others, which I don't like. I wish it was just unified. We've already got two different comeback BRs, one on Tego and one on Vikendi, and then we're going to have a third revive system across all the other 8x8s, which sounds crazy. I mean, I'd rather have the revive system than not have it, but I'd rather have it unified across all 8x8 maps. They do say somewhere that they're planning initially to bring that to Erangel, I believe. So it sounds like it's going to be a slow rollout of that. I wish they just put it on all of the maps straight away. It's probably going to take them the whole year to get a revive system across all the maps, which is going to be frustrating. The next bit for normal matches, they talk about tactical gear a little bit, saying that the risk of taking up a primary slot for tactical gear stops people taking it and that kind of thing. So by the sound of it, we're going to get probably a slot for tactical gear, seems to be what that's alluding to, and presumably some rebalancing around that. Otherwise, everyone's going to be carrying an EMT and it's going to be pretty insane. Moving on to ranked, they say they want to make all 8x8 maps appear in ranked, although not all at once. They then go on a bit later to say that they want to add Destin specifically to ranked, so I'm not really sure which it is. I think they mean they're going to gradually play around with putting all of the different maps into ranked, and maybe Destin's the one they're looking at first. There's a bit more map rotation on ranked a little bit further down. They also go on to say they want to add new tactical gear, or add existing tactical gear rather, to ranked gameplay. It's not going to be all tactical gear, but they do specifically say that they're going to add blue zone grenades, folding shield, emergency pickup, and in a tweet by PUBG Esports, they also mentioned the flare gun and the smoke launcher. It does say self AD, and the revive system won't be added to ranked. So going to be interesting to see how that stuff plays out once we get it in a ranked environment. They then go on to say about esports that we're going to see esports and ranked rule sets getting aligned. So we're actually going to see tactical gear like that in esports as well as just in ranked. But more on that in just a sec. They also say the rewards for ranked will be enhanced, which is a massive thing. They've been terrible for ages. Fingers crossed we get some good rewards for ranked that make it feel worth grinding, worth playing. So the alignment between esports and ranked settings is going to happen after PGS1. PUBG Esports have tweeted they're basically going to make the rule sets the same between ranked mode and esports to make them more closely aligned, to make it more of a seamless switch. If you're slaying in ranked, then it's maybe a more natural progression into esports. Obviously, this is pretty PC focused. And when they do updates to ranked, they're going to roll those out to esports as well. So that's going to be nice to see. PUBG Esports is great to watch, but I feel it's been a bit stale and samey for quite a long time. So it's going to be nice to see it change up a little bit. They're going to make some changes to map rotation. What we're going to have is 5 maps available at the same time, like we do now, but they're going to change on a much shorter cycle than the current 1 month. So I guess that's going to be every week or 2 weeks or something like that, presumably. And we're also going to have Erangel and Sanhok as fixed maps, with the other 3 rotating. So possibly controversial choice. Personally for me, That's brilliant. I love both those maps. They give a kind of a different experience. One's a bit slower and the classic, and one's nice and hectic and busy, and you always get fights on Sanhok. So that's great. Personally, not everyone's going to be happy, but you can pick any two maps and not everyone's going to be happy. So yeah, that's what they're going to start with. And then you can have the other maps rotating through that as well. I think that's positive. I'd probably rather just have 3 maps in rotation at a time. I think we've got too many maps really, but more on that later. But yeah, so Erangel, Sanhok, regularly changing every week or two, I think, something like that, with the other maps taking up that 3rd, 4th, and 5th slot. For ranked mode, we're going to have 4 maps rotating every 2 months. And the fixed maps are going to be Erangel, Miramar, and Tago like we have now. And then they're going to be rotating in another. It does mention Destin specifically there. Like I said a little bit earlier, it mentions all 8x8 maps. So I guess we're just going to see different 8x8s taking up that 4th slot in ranked. There's a little bit of stuff on Gunplay. Most of it is really just talking about what they've done already. This is regarding the Org going to World Spawn, the FAMAS coming into the crate, the M16 and the Mutant getting their burst rate of fire changes. They wanted to get 5.56 and 7.62 weapons basically balanced, more closely aligned. They also mentioned they're conducting R&D for underbarrel attachments and new mechanisms and stuff like this. So that's just planning. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but you know, it's just something they're thinking about. It's worth saying this is all just, you know, this is just words. There's lots of stuff that's like, oh, we want to do this. Doesn't mean it's necessarily going to happen. You know, there's a lot of talk here, and we'll have to judge PUBG and Crafton on what they actually deliver. Further down, we get a new map. Some of you might be super excited about this. Some of you might not be. Personally, I think the last thing I care about or want on PUBG right now is a new map. I know some people will want to see it, but I'd rather they weren't making a new map and invested all of that time and energy and dev work into all of the other things mentioned in this and delivering on them to a better quality and faster. I'd rather have all of the existing maps having the same revive system, you know, soon, rather than having a new map. But a new map is what we're going to get. So they're doing a new map at the end of the year. It's codenamed Neon. It says it's a modern city with skyscrapers combined with rural areas, which creates a truly unique atmosphere that hasn't been seen yet in PUBG. I'm going to be honest, that sounds like a description of Destin. So I guess maybe I'm picturing it wrong, but it does sound like it's got a city and some not city bits, which is what Destin has. But I'm sure it'd be good. Destin was great, you know, the new Vikendi's great, but I just don't care about a new map. I don't want a new map. I'd rather they made what we have better. And, you know, like I said, it's going to have new unique weapons, new vehicles, the same stuff you get every time they do a map, dynamic weather, blah, blah, blah. You know, same old stuff for where they make a new map. There's another section they talk about other little updates they're going to make to maps. So they want to make some larger scale updates to Erangel and Miramar. They do say they're going to be cautious with updates to Erangel specifically because it's the sort of overall most loved map, the classic map. So don't worry too much there. Miramar might have more significant changes, particularly to the South Island, they say. So looking forward to that. I think Miramar definitely needs it. Erangel, you know, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt for a little bit of a change. Miramar, I think, definitely needs some big changes to bring it into the 21st century. They touched briefly on the tutorial. It doesn't really say anything specific. It just says we want to make it better and more engaging and useful in a sort of non-specific way. So they're going to work on the tutorial and make that better for new players to help onboard them. They then go on and talk about research and development stuff. There's a section here. They talk about things they're kind of looking at but aren't definitely going to happen. They're just playing around with it. One of those is porting an existing map to a new game engine, or a new engine version, I should say, which is probably a different thing. But yeah, they're playing with that. They say we don't know if it'll work. We might not do it, but they're trying. So that's about as close as we've got to a PUBG on Unreal 5 thing. It's not specified that it's Unreal 5, but probably. So that'd be interesting to see if it happens. If maybe they weren't working on making a new map, maybe that would be able to get done a bit quicker. But yeah, there you go. They're also looking at world modding. This is an interesting thing. World modding players will have the ability to create and share their own unique game modes and environments. So a kind of modding mode creation type thing, which again is just a plan. So it doesn't sound like they've really done much on that other than talk about it. So that's probably quite far away. They also talk about the idea of more building destruction being incorporated into the game, which would be great. Obviously, you get that on Karakin at the moment, has some destructible buildings with the Black Zone. They're thinking about how they can bring that into other maps. I think that would be great. It's a nice mechanic in Karakin. I think they should have expanded on that a long time ago, so it'd be great to see some movement on that at some stage. There's lots of talk about their goals and stuff like that. I'll let you go through it in your own time. It's all kind of just company fluff of saying, you know, we want to make the game better and we want to make the game modes work better and people have more fun and easier for new players to stick around and all this stuff that, you know, they kind of say every time. So you can look through that at your own discretion. Arcade mode is going to get lumped in with labs. You're going to see arcade and labs together. So presumably you'll be able to play labs game modes through the arcade section. And then they're going to try and have some sort of reward or point system where you can unlock items through that. That'd be great. There's been lots of fun modes in labs over the years. It'd be nice to be able to play them again. So hopefully that will give us the opportunity to do so. They're also going to add a clan system around mid-year. So you're going to be able to get clan tags and all this kind of stuff like you can in lots of other games and have been able to for absolutely years. So that's a nice thing to see added to PUBG finally. They're going to make some changes to the Survivor Pass to make it a bit easier to level up. And then there's also some changes to progressive weapon. Well, not really changes, but it just says we're going to make some more progressive stuff. We're going to make it better. We might release some old skins. We're going to do some new brand collabs like McLaren. So yeah, they're going to, you know, more stuff to sell you and relieve you of your hard-earned cash. There's a big thing to read on anti-cheat. The too long didn't read is kind of, we do lots of work on anti-cheat. We're doing more things on anti-cheat. We're trying to stop the cheaters. We stop lots of cheaters. There's still cheaters and we still spend lots of time trying to stop them. It's pretty much what you get from reading all of that. You can read it all if you like, but that is entirely up to you. That is about it for that. Please leave a comment down below if you think I missed anything out that I might have not caught, or if you got thoughts and feedback on the content of that roadmap. Like I said, you got to remain a little bit skeptical. It's unlikely all of these things will happen this year. It's stuff they're just saying, hey, we want to do this. Not necessarily going to see it all this year. I think there's some really good stuff in there. There's some stuff that I'm not that keen on, particularly the idea of the new map. But yeah, I think it's good. The map rotation changes, you know, the quick changing of what maps are available every week or two, I think is good. The new revive system sounds good, sounds positive. I just wish it was unified across all maps and being rolled out at the same time across all the big maps. The clan stuff sounds cool. The alignment of esports and ranked, I think, sounds really positive. And the tactical gear changes sound really good as well to me. So definitely some good stuff in there, and certainly more good than bad. We just got to hope that PUBG can actually deliver. Thanks very much for watching today. If you found the video useful, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and why not check out our creator code? I'll put a little video at the end of this that just tells you how you can add that to your account, and that helps us out whenever you buy anything in PUBG. I just wanted to drop you all a quick message to tell you about our PUBG creator code. As a PUBG partner, we have a creator code which you can add to your account, which means whenever you purchase anything in game, PUBG will give us a commission. Whether you're buying season passes, G-Coin bundles, or anything else that requires cash in PUBG, if you have our code added, then you'll be helping us out without costing yourself a penny extra. It's a great way to support the channel, and it really does help keep us making PUBG content for you. Plus, it's easy to set up and you'll only ever have to do it once. To add our code, first visit accounts.pubg.com and then log in or create an account. Once you've logged in, connect your Xbox, PlayStation or Steam account on the linked accounts tab, then go to the Creator Appreciation Program section and type the Beard Guys into the box or find us from the drop-down list. Then just click submit and you're all done. A massive thank you to everybody who has used our code. Your support is absolutely vital for us and it really makes a huge difference.